Perhaps everyone won't agree with what I have to say.
Good afternoon, friends, and welcome to Movie Head.
How y'all doing? We back again.
Today we're back to talk about Blackkklansman. So,
why are you talking so low?
Cause my voice sounds like a monster.
She getting over a little congestion action.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Anyway, Blackkklansman stars David, what's his name? John David Washington, who is Denzel Washington's son, if you did not know. And it's based on a true story.
It is based on a true story. So let's say this first. We didn't know what we wanted to go to see. This past weekend, Slender Man came out, which I did not want to see. I actually didn't want to see any of the movies, to be perfectly honest.
The Meg.
If I had to see anything, that would have been my choice, because I am a diehard Jaws fan, and I just felt like maybe it was paying some type of homage to the Jaws series. I don't know. That's something that I wouldn't mind seeing being remade in some capacity.
I don't think that's a good idea, but
nobody asked you. It's not your money that's being put in there. They need to take my suggestions.
We put it out to social media. What she did.
We did.
What movie we should see, and you guys picked Blackkklansman.
Yes, thank you guys for responding. So we went to see it, and so the Blackkklansman takes place in 1979, and it chronicles a real life situation. It was the first black man to actually work for this particular police precinct or county, and he infiltrated the KKK.
Yep, basically by using calling in like an ad in the paper or something like that.
Yeah, it was an ad in the paper where they were requesting for people to join.
Right.
And he decided that he was going to call it, which it was so weird to me that it was an ad in the paper.
Yeah, there was an ad in the paper for the Klan. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it's just the times. But
so he called in and he acted super racist on the phone, like he just hate everything but white people, and they asked him to come on in and talk to him for a minute. Only problem is he's black.
Right. So he had to use one of his counterparts to basically show up on his behalf or what have you, so they could see what was going on.
Right, and I don't see how that worked, because you can
their voices were completely different.
They weren't completely different.
It was,
but they had like glaring differences in their dialect when they talk with. You know what I'm saying? Expectations.
Yeah, expectations.
Expectations was, I know this movie gonna have some racism in it, and sometimes when you go to the movies, and this is why we both go to the movies, is to get away from social issues, get away from stuff that's going on in the real world, and just have a little escape. I think that's why I like so many of the type of sci-fi and fantasy and superhero movies I like, because I don't want to think about the real world too much. I like serious movies, don't get me wrong, but when they have certain subjects that's kind of like taboo, I guess that's the word, whatever to talk about,
I don't think it's taboo anymore.
Well, it ain't taboo no more. You're right.
Sure.
Especially with this movie, it's out there. The only person I seen have the N word in a movie this much was Quentin Tarantino, and I think Spike Lee think he get an extra pass because he is black. So it was so many of those in there. But anyway, your expectations?
Expectations were I actually, when I saw the previews when we went to the movies, I actually thought it was going to be a comedy. I didn't really know what to think, because
I thought it was going to be kind of a comedy too.
Right, and it was some comedic parts in it. Even with the subject matter, I thought, first and foremost, let me be clear, I am not a big fan of Spike Lee. It's not much that I have liked that he's ever done.
We supposed to like Spike Lee, we black, baby.
That's fine, but that's just my honest opinion. He just isn't my type of director.
Right.
His stories don't necessarily always connect with me, and
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be a lot of people that can dispute it.
Oh yeah,
it's just
I'm sure a lot of people love his movies because his movies do great. I mean, you get a lot of critical response to him as well. But I just like you, I've never been a big fan. I like some of them to a certain extent, but just like not crazy fan. Like, oh, that movie is so dope, you gotta see it.
Right.
Bucket list movie, you know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
However, in this, so I was like totally against it. Even when Mike was like, "Hey, I heard this was a really good movie," I was like, "I'm not going to see that."
Yeah.
I was just like, "I'm just not in the mood." Blah blah blah, what have you. So, thanks for the response, because it did get us to get out there and see it. I don't regret seeing it. It is definitely one of the best movies that he has made, but the content matter is so heavy. Like, I was anxious the entire movie. It made me really, really uncomfortable, and not so much because they were using the N-word so much or anything, but just because it's so relevant to now.
Right.
And
go ahead.
It's so relevant to now. We are really living in this time and actually seeing people go through the same things. To Mike's point, it's not that we are not aware of the social injustices and things of that nature. It's just that sometimes you want to go just to be able to get away from what you see and what you hear on the news every day.
Exactly.
And when I tell you they brought it home, they brought it home.
Anything that you would think that you would be uncomfortable with as far as it comes to race relations and stuff like that, they bring it in this movie. And they whether you are black, white, whatever, mostly black and white people though, because that's mainly what's in it. It makes you feel comfortable. Jewish, anything. It makes you feel uncomfortable because it just makes you realize how much hate there actually is for people in this world. You just can't help but clench and cringe like, dang,
it was tough.
They going there for real.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It was very eye-opening. I left. We were supposed to get right in the car and review the movie, and I was just like, I mean,
need a minute.
I needed a minute to be able to regroup. But just to speak on the movie in general, and the acting was good. Like I promise you, John David Washington, he does a really good job. I was already slick a fan of his because I really like Ballers, and he does really well in that as well. Everybody did.
He did a good job. What's his name? Can't even think of his name. Played Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren, that's his name.
Yeah, Kylo Ren.
That is, he was Kylo Ren. I forgot his name too. But he did a really good job. Like, I've never seen people.
Adam Driver.
Right.
I know I was gonna think. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I know I'm gonna think of that.
Yeah, he did really well. It was only one character that was a really kind of a main character, but she was really forgettable for me. The main girl character.
Oh yeah, the one who played. I don't know. They kept comparing her to Angela Davis though. She had a big afro.
Yeah, the main girl
the main one, female lead. She wasn't really a lead because she was barely in the movie #1, and then her performance was slick, forgettable. She played Peter Parker's love interest in Spider-Man, the last one, Homecoming too, which is crazy because she played like a woman in this movie, but she was like a straight high school teenager in that one. But she did alright. It's just. I didn't believe she was so pro-black like that.
She didn't even. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I felt like
she was part of the Black Panther Party, right?
Right, she was. And I think if they were trying to bring home that Black Panther vibe, somebody super strong, it was a lot of people that they could have chose from that would have really resonated with the character, in my opinion. And she was just kind of. Like I said, when she wasn't on screen, I didn't miss her. And I was just like, oh, it was almost like she was inconvenient, you know. And I'm kind of.
She was just there to move the plot forward.
Right. So the acting was definitely good acting in my opinion.
Music.
The music was great. I love old school stuff, and it was very old school music. So it was a couple of times that I found myself jamming or whatever to the music.
There's a couple of times that I found myself, especially when they use the music in the serious moments. It reminded me of some of the old '70s movies that came out, black people movies, and I thought that was a good touch as well, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To fit with the rest of the theme of the movie, seeing that it was in the 70s, it gave that vibe of being back in the day. And then Spike Lee has these isms that he used, these that you can just tell is a Spike Lee movie, like floating towards the camera like this right here. And then there was one part where a dude for like the Black Panther Party was giving a speech, and then
Dr. Dre
dude played Dr. Dre. They was zooming in on people's heads in the crowd and blacking out the rest of it behind them.
Right.
It was a stylistic choice. It wasn't the best. It wasn't terrible.
It didn't bother me. I mean, I felt like it was artsy and creative.
Yeah, it was artsy, exactly.
Which you could definitely expect from him. Like, he's not gonna give you the typical. But even with all of that being said, even with him not giving the typical, definitely one of the best movies that I've seen him make.
It was a good movie, but it was just like if you're not a fan of really that type of movie, which I'm not, that's not my top of the list of their genre as far as movies. It's hard to say. Well, it was for what it was. It gave me the feels. It made me feel stuff.
Right.
It got to me. It hit me in the chest a couple times. So I guess I could say it's a great movie as far as that. As far as something I would just want to go see again like that, and I'm probably giving my little rating. I don't have to see it again.
Let's go ahead and get into ratings.
Good enough. Ratings.
Yeah. So I'm definitely, like, to your point, I cannot rate it anything less than ticket price validated, because this movie did everything it was supposed to do. I laughed. I had tears in my eyes. I hated people. I understood passion from people. From
you had to
both
remind
sides
yourself that these was actors, man. Because you're like, bro, if I see this dude on the street, man.
Right. I got really caught up in it. I understood a little bit more about the KKK as well as the Black Panthers. And just understanding that both of them are really, really passionate about their cause, and it just goes to show you that, you know, sometimes passion can be very dangerous from either side of the fence.
When you believe in something so much to the point where you're willing to do anything,
exactly,
that can be dangerous.
Exactly. I definitely felt like it resonated. It hit home. At the end of the movie, they showed some real life action stuff from things that happened that last year, which really brought back a lot of heaviness.
The footage from the current stuff, it really made the rest of that movie resonate, and it put the cherry on top for the movie.
Exactly.
I would give it a same rating.
Yeah,
ticket price validated. I'm definitely glad I went to go see that movie. I'm glad we didn't sleep on it. You know what I'm saying?
So thank you guys for the suggestion and having us get up and go ahead and do it. If you like this type of movie, or definitely, I think people should check it out, but just go into it knowing that you're not gonna come out feeling good about it. I don't care what race you are.
Yeah, and it's crazy because every review we do, we joke in the reviews, we act lighthearted, but in this movie you can't, even though I will say it made me laugh a whole lot more than I thought it would. It wasn't somber. It's just the social issues that made you really think. It was so much tension, and it breaks up the tension when you put little comedic parts in the movie. That's what I liked about the movie. I'm glad that Spike Lee realized that you just can't have this commentary being this heavy the whole way through the movie. Just like real life, you gotta have some jokes, man. You gotta have some kind of laugh. You gotta have people being people. You know what I'm saying? We don't just sit around and just be brutal all day like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, so Blackkklansman, definitely go check it out.
Klansman?
Yeah,
get Klansman.
Klansman.
Okay.
Definitely go check it out,
man.
Let us know what your thoughts were. Engage in conversations. If you don't want to, in this case, I understand that as well.
Yeah.
And
you probably want to get political in the comments.
Right. Thank you guys so much for the recommendation.
Yep. And thanks for watching.
Yes.
Y'all hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. It's below in the description. And feel free to comment below some of our latest posts, what movies you would like us to review. Keep watching our videos.
Because that's what we're here for.
We gone.